Bonjour, hello, namaste, hello, hola. You see so many different words written on this slide pack. From A2IT Private Limited, one of the prestigious organizations, I on behalf of this organization welcome you all to Java Complete series. This Java Complete series tutorial that we have is divided into 3 modules where we have Java Beginners, Java Intermediate and Java Advanced. As part of this curriculum, we are going to cover right from the basic concept of what Java is, how Java was created, who created, why was Java created, which years are association with Java, to a concept where we will be understanding the concepts of variable, constants, the loops, the selection statements, the different data structures. There's a bundle of good things which we have kind of encapsulated in our Java Beginners module. As part of our Java Intermediate, which is the next level in this complete Java series, we have the concepts of OOPS, we have uncovered the concepts of collections, we have done the concepts of understanding as to what encapsulation, polymorphism is all about. We have touched base a bit of exception handling. As part of our Java Advanced, ranging from collection frameworks to multi-threading, to concepts which will tell us how file handling is done, to concepts which will guide us how assertions can be used, we have a bundle of good things in this pack. Along with this video tutorials, we aim to provide all our delegates a booklet in which whatever code that we will be writing as part of this video series, that code is also going to be made available for you in a Word document. The benefit of this code will be, while practicing, anytime you want to refer to the code that has been written at the time of the video tutorials, you can refer to that code and take the best out of it. As part of this, we are going to also, for all the levels, help you provide the beginners, the intermediate and advanced assignments which will be given to you as part of the video tutorial itself. Whenever a particular module will be completed or whenever a particular video concept will be completed, we will be handing over that assignment to you, and it will be expected that you complete that assignment before you open the next module. So in this big bundle of pack, we offer this to all our students who are totally new to Java but want to have a very good hand holding on the Java. This is also for our experienced students to understand Java in the best industry way. This is also for our students who want to become a Java developer, a person who wants to really do well with the Java certifications. This course is for all such audiences. We cannot wait to offer you this course. So please stay tuned, join this material, join this course and get the best out of this complete series. Thank you, and we welcome you all on board on this amazing journey. Thank you and take care. Installing Java is such a difficult job. I've heard people saying this, and I think installing Java is one of the easiest thing. So without wasting time, welcome back to this module, guys. We are going to understand how do we get the Java installed on our system. One thing you always remember, and that is any language. I know our primary focus is Java now, but at A2IT, we want our students to be all-rounders. So one thing that I want to guide here through our tutorial is that any language, when you are installing, what are the 2 main things that you need? Does anybody know that? Can you guess it? 2 main things that you need. Point number 1, you need that language to be installed. Those language bindings are required. So that means if I want to learn Java, I have to install Java. Simple. Right? We are going to understand the tutorials in a very simple way. If I have to install Python, what I will do? I'll install Python. If I need C, what I'm going to do? Install C. Isn't it? Straightforward, isn't it? So first thing what I need is the language bindings, and the second thing that I need over here is something which is called as an editor. Have you heard of this term before? Editor? Editor is a place where you are going to write your program. When we were small, remember, we used to write paragraphs and essays and letters and what all. Where did we write that? In our notebooks. Similarly, whenever you are doing programming, you need a place where you will be writing, and that is called as editor. Now, we are going to install Java and see how Java can be installed. And in this tutorial itself, I will introduce you to one of the editors which is called as Eclipse. And I'm going to show you how Eclipse can be installed. Across the globe, Eclipse is one of the editors which is very widely used. Though, as a Java developer, as an automation tester, you should know that which all are the other editors which are available in market. So Eclipse is there, NetBeans is there, then you have got the Europa, then you have got the IntelliJ. These are the other editors which are available, but our primary focus will be on installing Eclipse. So without further delays, let us very quickly understand how Java can be installed in a simple way. In order to install Java, my friends, let us open the URL. I have already put the link of the Java installation. Now remember, if you're facing any issues in finding this, just type www.java.com, download IE manual.jsp. Just type this in a minute, and once you do that, you will see that this page is loaded. There is a version which is written. If you scroll down, there is an option where you can see download Java. Please check your system requirements before you download Java. What system requirements are, it should be a 64-bit if you are doing Java Windows 11. If it is 8 version, you need Windows 10, because if you have a very older machine, Java might not get installed. So please remember, you should have a very good system. Now click on this download Java button where you can see, and you can see that very quickly a exe file has downloaded. You can do these steps with me, my dear little friends, but one thing you have to remember is that if this exe file is taking time, it might be because of your network connection. So let it have some time. I'm right now connected on a very good bandwidth. So the moment I clicked on this, you see that exe file has downloaded. It might take some time for you, but that's okay. Once this exe file has got downloaded, I hope you're all looking at my cursor. If you're facing any issues, let me highlight which area am I talking about. This is the area where I am. And now all you need to do is just click on this exe file. You will click on the yes option, and as you click on the yes, you will see that there is an install button and a remove button. Click on the install button and that's it. The installation window will open in a minute. There will be some instructions. We will just click on next, next, next and finish. So you saw that installing Java was not difficult. A pop-up opened when you click on that pop-up, and you can always access that again. Anytime you want to set up again, you can go to any of these files. Just click on this file. I have downloaded it 2 times. Double click on this and click on next. Java will get installed. Now I hope Java is clear, and I'll also show you in the next tutorial when we start coding in Java how to make sure that Java is fully installed. There is a command that you can run in the command prompt, which I'll show you very soon. Our next step, friends, is to install the editor, and I told you what's an editor. It is a place where you are actually going to write your code. So eclipse.org downloads packages installer is the URL which you can go click on it and then click on this download button. As you click on this download x86-64, this orange color button, if you are facing issues in understanding where exactly I am, this is the area which I am talking about. So you will click on this download button, and as you click on the download button, you will see that based on the internet speed that you have, this download button will create a file onto your desktop. So in very 2 minutes, we will see how that happens. So you can now see that this download button is available. Click on this download button. I am again repeating, it might take a bit of your internet speed. If it is slow, it might take little more time for the download to happen. So you will now click on the download button, and as you can see, I am getting connected to the eclipse.org and the download will very soon start. So you can see that this file is getting downloaded, Eclipse-instjre. Look at my cursor and please click on this button. I am showing you how the editor gets installed in the system. So as I click on this button, you will see that the Eclipse installer by OOMP window, modal window will open, and very quickly you can see these different options which are available. Now this is little tricky, right? Many times we don't know which window to select. So I'm going to give you a very simple way of understanding what you want to select. You need to select this second option from the top. I'm highlighting this area so you don't have any problem. Please do not select any of these options, nothing. Just install this, click on this button. I hope that's clear, my friends. So let's click on this Eclipse as I guided you, and that's it. Click on the install button. There is a service agreement document which you can read if you want to. I know it's very big. Click on the accept now and you will see that the installation is in progress. To save our time, I'll pause my video here and let the installation happen very quickly, and once it is happened, I will show you in my next tutorial how to find out whether Java is successfully installed or not. I will also guide you to see whether or confirm whether the Eclipse is successfully installed or not. But to save time, I'm not going to do a recording of installation happening over here. So let us quickly conclude what we have learned in this session. In this video tutorial, we now know that in case you want to do programming, you need two main things. You need the language to be installed. In this case, we have got the language which is Java language. You need also the second thing which is called as the editor. The editor that we have chosen over here is the Eclipse. So we installed Java. How? Simple. We just clicked on this URL that we had. We went to the download option and we went to java.com download manual.jsp and clicked on this download Java. This generated a file, which is the file I'm going to quickly show you, which looked like this, and you double clicked on it and the Java got installed. The second thing that we learned in this tutorial was how to install Eclipse. We went to the Eclipse link and then we clicked on this option, second from the top, Eclipse for the Java developers, and you can see that the installation is in progress. I will get back to you very soon once both of these installations are finished, and I request all of you to finish this installation as well and watch my next tutorials in this series. See you very soon, guys. Keep practicing, keep learning Java. See you soon. Alright friends, welcome back. Now we are going to understand whether the installation of Java and Eclipse has been successfully installed. So you can always write down Java space -version. This is the command. If you press enter, if Java is successfully installed, you will be able to see Java. It will just tell you the version, what version of Java is installed. So press enter to see what version of Java is installed. And the second thing that you can locate is how to find out whether the Eclipse is installed on your system or not. This is the icon for the Eclipse, as you can see on my screen. And all you need to do is just double click on this icon and you will see the Eclipse IDE launching. It will ask you where you want to create your first project. So please click on launch button. As you click on the launch button, you will see that Eclipse IDE 2022-06 version will open. What is our next step is to create a new project. Now, before we do that, let us try to summarize what we have done till now. So in the previous tutorials, we have looked into how the Java can be installed. We have seen how the Eclipse can be installed, and now in this tutorial, to confirm whether Java is successfully installed, you will use a command that I gave you, Java space -version on the command prompt. If Java is successfully installed, you will see the message saying that this particular version of Java is installed. If Java is not installed, you will get an error message. We then are now seeing how you can open the Eclipse. In order to open the Eclipse, all you need to do is just double click on the Eclipse icon on your desktop, which I'm going to show you one more time. This is the Eclipse icon. Double click on this and you will see that the Eclipse window has opened. Our next target is to create a new project. Now be very careful and listen to these instructions very carefully. When you first time launch your Eclipse workspace, you will see that on the click of new, Java is missing. Can you see that? And guys, one thing that I wanted to tell you was that Eclipse is one of those editors, right, which can be used for multiple things. So you can make a Maven project. If you don't know Maven, it's fine. EGB project, connector project, JPA project. But what project are we creating? And it can be used to create servlets and session beans and what all. But what you are actually looking for is a project which is in Java. So click on the project option and select this Java project option. You will then click on next, and as I click on next, it's asking me for my project name. Let us give it a name, Java Beginners, and once you click the Java Beginners, click on the next option. It will show you the overall structure. Within Java Beginners, you have got the SRC, which is empty as of now, and then you will click on the finish button. Please remember, you will click do not create here. I'm going to highlight it very carefully so you don't make mistakes. Select this option, do not create. Please do not create it as of now. This is not needed. Okay, everybody? So all you need to do is click on this do not create option. And again, I'm going to highlight it. This is a very common mistake. You will click on this no option. You don't need to open the perspective. This is not needed, my friends. So now click on this no option. And as I click on this no, the Java project is created. I had a very dummy project which I created. I don't need it. So I'm just going to delete it for now. You will not have it because you didn't create it. So let me know if you are now able to see Java Beginners. Within the Java Beginners, the inbuilt Java code should be there, which you do not need to do anything about. And this is the SRC folder in which the Java classes are present or will be present in our code. So this is the overall structure of an Eclipse. Now let us in few minutes of time try to create our first class file. And even before we do that, I want my students to understand one thing very carefully. For an Eclipse, guys, if you remember, you created first of all a workspace which you create as soon as the Eclipse is launched. Then you go to File, New, and then you selected the Java project option. When you clicked on the Java project option, you will give the name of the Java project that you want to give name of Java project, and then all you're going to do is click on next and you will say finish. That's all you need to do for Java installation and Eclipse setup. Now what next we are going to do is understand how a class file can be created in this SRC. Now before we create that, you need to understand some of the things on this editor. My friends, listen to this carefully. And I'm going to highlight it with the blue color. This area is the console area. So I'm going to write down here, and in this console area you will see the output. Everything has an output, right? If you are preparing tea, you are putting some stuff in that, right? And the output is that you get a tea out of it, isn't it? So everything has an output. So every input has an output. So whatever Program, you will write it in this area. If you want to see the output, where you will see the output? Here, isn't it? And this window is called as the editor window, because this is the place where you will be actually writing your program. This area is called as the project explorer area. This is the place where all your projects will be there, and within those projects there will be class files. Okay. What else? This magical button, which is the green button that you see, this button will help you to run your Java program. So what do you majorly use? You use the project explorer to navigate in your project. You use the editor window to write your program. You click on this run button, and when the output is ready, you see the output here. Anytime you want to minimize Eclipse, you can click on this button. You can close it or you can maximize it. Okay, so I hope you are happy with this setup and the different areas of this editor. What are we waiting for? Let's quickly create our new class file. In Java, everything is about classes, and when we are going to do automation testing also, we'll have classes. So we'll click on this new option and we'll click on this class. I'm highlighting it in very clear way so that you don't have any confusions. This is the SRC area where you will be doing everything. You will not do it in Java beginners. Please click on the SRC option. So now what I'm going to do next is right click on this new and create a class. In order to create the class, this is our very first class. So why not give it a name Hello World. Write your name here, and then all you need to do is just check this option public static void main. I'll tell you a reason. If you check this option here, you will not have to type anything after this, which is very useful. So guys, I'm going to repeat the steps. The first step that you did was you were in this file option. I'll just repeat it for you so that there is no confusions. You were in this, under this file, you were in this Java beginners. Then on the SRC, you right click and new, and you said new class. This window will open after this, and you will write down here the name of your Java, which is the Hello World. Then you should tick this option. Rest of the things, no changes, nothing, no change after this. Just this is important and this is important, and click on the finish. Are we all ready to click on finish? You can pause my video and you can do it alongside with me, my friends. Click on finish, and very congratulations, because your first Java file is created. What's the next step? This green button that you see over here is this green text. In fact, you know, it's not very important, so you can get rid of it because this is a comment. Okay, and now many a times, you know, my students will say, Priyanka, this font is very small. There is an option, you can change the text of this font also if you want to. Let's navigate to that option. So let's see how we can do it. Please click on the window option, click on the editor window, and then let's see, click on the preferences directly. You can open it from editor also. Quickest way is just click on preferences, click on this general option, click on this editors option, maximize it, click on this text editors option, maximize this, and somewhere here you will see an option where you can change your colors and fonts and you can make it bigger. So click on this edit option. Then you can make your font bigger if you want to. I want to make it 20, so I selected 20. You can make it regular, italic, bold. Let's leave it as regular and click on OK. You will then click on this apply button, and then you will click on apply and close. Can you see the changes already? Yes. So for all of your comfort, I am going to make it bigger so that you can see it very clearly. Now, if you missed any of the steps, do not worry. Please go back and play the recording again. Now let's look at the Java structure, Java code structure. Any Java code that you write has a structure, right? So what is that structure? I'm going to highlight it here. In Java, everything is about a class. and inside the class you have a method which is called as the main method, M-A-I-N, and your entire code goes inside this main method only. Right? Now let us try to understand here. In Java, everything is about a class. This is the starting bracket of the class. This is the ending bracket of the class. And within these two brackets, you have made a main method which is called as public static void main string args. And within this main method over here, you will be writing your code. Was that simple to understand? Remember, you will not write your code here, 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 not here. The code has to be written where? Within this area. So this area is inside this main, which is present inside this class. Okay, I hope that's crystal clear. Now let us write our very first instruction, and then I'm going to congratulate you all because you all have finished the first program of Java. Now, I am going to give you a command which can help you to print something in Java. Are we all ready? Let's get started. In order to print something on the console window, you have to type SYSO. SYSO is a shortcut. SYSO is a shortcut, I repeat. And after this, you will press the control and the space key together. So what is the shortcut to print? Let's write it down here very quickly. And please don't panic, because the more you panic, the less your mind works. I don't want you to panic. It's very simple. Just type SYSO, all lowercase. Let me just rub this and put it in all lowercase so it's easy for you to understand. So this is small s, small y, small s, o. So you will write this word here, and then you will press the control and space key together. Can I show you this? Okay, please keep an eye on this. What I'm going to do now, I am going to type SYSO and press the control and space key together, and that will print for you. So you don't have to write the entire text doing system.out.println. That's a very good idea. Okay, and then we will print. This is how we print in Java. Okay, and maybe I want another line to get printed, and that is system.out.println. Printing is, or probably not printing, in fact, looks like Java is fun. So we are going to do this, and nice smiley at the end, and let's execute this program. In order to run this program, remember the green button, the magical button. You will click on this green button and a console window will open, which will ask you to save it. If you want to save it, click on this, and then you can see this console window has got published. This console window you can place here, you can drag and drop and place it on the top, you can place it at any place. Remember, this is the input that you have given, you then clicked on this button, and this is the output that you have got. I hope that was clear and everybody is okay with it. So congratulations everybody, you were able to create your first Java program in fractions of minutes. Now, even before we go ahead, I'm going to give you some exercises to solve, and the exercise that I'm going to give you is, you will write a Java program which will print your name. So in this case, let's say I wanted to print Priyanshu, I wanted to print the student number of Priyanshu, ST2001, and I also wanted to print Priyanshu's email ID. So whatever your name is, please write a Java program that will print these three things for you. This is the first exercise I am hoping all of you to do. And once you have done this exercise, take another exercise in which we will be printing 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in this ladder format. This is our exercise number 2. Even before you turn on the next video, make sure you have got this exercise 1 and 2 ready with you, because I'm going to discuss this with you, solve it in front of you and show you before we go to the next topic. Take care till then and stay tuned. Don't go away. Take care everybody. Thank you. Welcome back all my dear friends. Let us get started. In the last tutorial, we created our very first class called as Hello World. Within that class, we had created a method. The name of the method was main, and within that main method, we were writing down system.out.println, something which helps us to print something on the console window, and we had run this exercise by right clicking on this option. There were two exercises given at the end of that tutorial, and the first exercise was in which you had to print your name, print your student number and your email address. I'm going to quickly solve that exercise for you and show it to you, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So let's say I wanted to print my name. I'm going to print my name. I'm going to print the student number. I am assuming ST001 for now, and I'm going to also print my email address. So I'm going to write down the email address @gmail.com, a dummy email. That's all you had to do. And now if you run this program, you will see that the output has got finally printed for you. We are now going to understand the difference between the println and the print. The main difference between the print and the println is, if I remove this ln, which stands for new line, you will see that there are the names written over here. If I now run this program, you can see everything is printed on the same line. Can you all quickly try, and I'll wait for you? Please try this. All right. So I hope everybody has tried till now. Write down your name, your student number and the Gmail address. Click on the run button, and that's the difference you can see. So if you want to print it in separate lines, you will use the command println. Fantastic. Now let's go on to the next bit here. The next thing that we are going to talk about is the second exercise. In the second exercise, if you remember, the homework that was given to you was, you had to print 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But see, you had to print this with these spaces. Now, the concept is, I'm going to write down the concept here. The concept is anything within these double quotation marks that you have got is printed as it is. Is printed as it is. So anything within these quotation marks is printed as it is. So even if you include some spaces in this quotation marks, you will have those spaces also printed. And this is a string. String means anything which is there inside this double quotation marks. Now guys, let's do one thing. Let's clean this area and let's try solving that exercise. So I had to print 1, I had to print 2 but with some spaces. I had to print 3 with some spaces, and then what I had to do was, I had to print some more statements. So let us do that as well. And finally, we had to print 5. So what is this exercise teaching us? Anything within the double quotes is treated as a string and will be printed as it is, isn't it? And I hope this exercise is clear. Let's not now wait. Let's move on to the next topic, in which we are going to understand the different concepts of what is a variable. We will talk about what is a constant. We will talk about what is a data type, and we are going to understand the next thing, in which we are going to understand what is exactly a keyword. And in many programming languages, this keyword is also called as reserved words. So let us try to understand these concepts now. A variable, constant, data type, reserved words or keywords are there in all programming languages. The way I'm going to explain it to you is not going to just set up a foundation in Java, but in all programming languages. So listen to this very carefully. In programming languages, when I use or when I write something like this, I say name is equal to Mohita. If I write down name is equal to Mohita like this, within this same name, I can write down any other name. And what happens is, behind the memory, this name will get some space in the memory of your computer, and inside this, Mohita will get stored. The next name is going to get another memory, and it will store whatever name you are going to store. So if it's a variable name 1, it will store some memory. Like any compute in your laptop, right? You'll agree with me, in your laptop you've got so many video files, audio files, there are Word documents. Like any file takes up space in your memory. Similarly, these variables will also take up space in your memory, in your computer memory. So they'll get stored. So the idea here is, when I use something called name is equal to Rohita or Mohita, in this case, this name got some memory in the system, and this constant value was getting stored onto the name. Now what next I am going to do is, I am going to take some more examples. I will take age is equal to 5-year-old. I am going to take another variable, another thing which is called as salary, in which I am going to write down the salary. And then I am going to take another variable which could be pass. You know, I went for an exam, I am either pass or fail, so true or false. Or I can take another variable, distance from earth to moon, right? And I can have a very big number, you know, and 0.5, something like this. So guys, anything on the left hand side of this is equal to is called as a variable. Anything onto the left hand side of this is equal to the name, the age, the salary, the pass, the distance from earth. They are variables. Variables, weather of a place is a variable, isn't it? If it was raining here in my place, it was raining some time ago and now it's sunny. So weather of a place, it keeps changing. So variable is something which can vary, which can change. In the name I can put Mohita, Rohita, Rohan, anything. Similarly, in the age I can put 5-year, 10-year, 20, 80, 90. I can put anything, right? So age can vary. So name, age, salary, pass, distance from earth are variables, remember. On the other hand, anything on the right hand side of this is equal to, which is Mohita 5, this number 59352.5, the true, and that last value that you see, these are all constant values, that is fixed, right? So 5 will remain 5 until you modify it. Do you agree with me? 5 will not change automatically. So it's a constant value, it is a fixed value. I hope that is making sense. Everybody is okay with it? Right. So variable, something whose value can vary. So all of these, this area if you see is a variable. All of these on the right hand side are the constant values. And now coming to the data type concept. So remember I gave name, and in the name I gave the name as Mohita. Then I took another variable age and I decided to put 5. I had another variable salary in which I was storing 559,235. I was then storing the variable pass result, right, in which I said true. And then I took another variable which is the distance from the earth to moon. So distance from earth to moon, which is, we wrote it as some big number. I might be wrong on this, okay? So now coming to data type, what is a data type? Data type is a concept which will tell the system what kind of data you are trying to store. So data type tells you what data you are trying to store. What kind of data you are trying to store. Is it a number? Is it an alphabet? Is it a string? What kind of data you are storing, okay, in memory. What kind of data you are storing in the memory. And the second thing that data type is going to tell you is How much memory? That is the next thing. How much memory? Remember. So if it is integer, it might take different. If it is a number, it will take a different memory, right? If it is anything within the double quotes, it will take a different memory. So please remember this concept. And now for the different variables and constants, there are different data types. So if it is name, the data type that we will be using is string. What is the data type? String. What is string? Anything within this double quotes. Many of my students will get confused on that strings will have only alphabets. That's not the case. It can have alphabets, it could have numbers, it could have special characters. Similarly, this age is a number. So I'm going to use a data type called as int. Similarly, this salary is actually a floating number, and always remember, I'm going to repeat this 2 times. If you are using a float data type, you should always write down F at the end of this. And what is the reason? Why do I need to write F, capital F or small f? Because in case of Java, you can have decimal numbers like this, or you can have bigger decimal numbers like this. The smaller decimal numbers like this are float, and the bigger decimal numbers like this are categorized under the double data type. And then finally you have got this parse result, and this parse result is the data type called as Boolean. Is that making sense, everybody? Variable is something whose value will change, constant is a fixed value, and data types, this all I have written in black, they are your data types: string, int, float, boolean, double. And if you want to have a list of all of them, I will add one last also, which is initials. You know, my name is Priyanka, so the initials of that can be stored in a single character, right? So when you're storing something in a single character, in that case there is another data type in Java, and that is called as char. Some people call it char, some people call it char. This is a character. It's a single character, and difference between this string and this character is between the double quotes and the single quotes. So if you have double quotes, children, it will be basically a string. If you have a single quote, remember it is a char. Okay, so I hope it is clear. One last topic before we will do the practice, and that is the concept of keywords. Now, what is keywords or reserved words? Keywords or reserved words are some words which language keeps for itself, and it does not allow you to use that keyword as a variable name. So you cannot do, for example, string system.out.println is equal to Priyanka, or maybe test. You cannot do that because this is a keyword, it has a specific meaning. Similarly, there are other keywords like if, else, for, and there are lots of keywords which you don't have to memorize. Just remember, it is a very bad practice to use that keyword as a variable name. Please don't use keyword as the variable names. Okay, I hope this is clear and you guys have understood the concept of variable, constant, data types and keywords. Please don't go away, stay tuned. Next video, we are going to start practicing these 4 concepts and try to understand how they can be used, followed by one of the exercises which I will expect all of you to complete before the next tutorial. Don't go away, keep enjoying Java. Take care till then and goodbye. Welcome back to the audio and video series of automation with A2IT. We are covering A2IT's prestigious course, which is Selenium with Java. We are currently focusing on Java and trying to understand the different concepts. In the previous concept, my dear friends, we have covered variable, constant, data types and keywords. And in this particular module, we are going to do some exercises, some practice on those concepts. So what we are going to do is, we are going to make a mini calculator app using Java and see how it works. Without further delay, let's get started. In order to make the calculator, I would need, let's say, 2 numbers on which I am going to perform some actions. So, the very first thing that you have to remember is, whenever you are making any variable, you should think what is the best data type of that particular variable. So in this case, it is a number, and a number will have a data type called as int. So I'm going to use a variable called number1, and in this number1 I'm going to put 10. A semicolon is very, very important. I repeat, semicolon is very important. I want another number. So data type, remember, for the integer, for the numbers is int. So I'm going to take number 2. I'll show you this same program with the floating numbers also. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sum variable. In this sum variable, I'm going to do number 1 plus number 2. And then very quickly here we will be printing the value of sum. Now remember, I wanted to show you this thing. Can you guess what is the output of this program? Will it actually print 10 plus 20, that is 30? The answer is no, because don't forget the first logic, that is anything within the double quotes is printed as it is. So how did this program work? Let's try to understand and then try to correct it later. In this program, we took the number 1, which is 10. We took the number 2, which is 20. So this thing is actually 10. This thing is actually 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. So sum becomes 30. And when you are, in order to get the value of the sum, you can take this off from the double quotes like this. And then you will see that when you run this program, you will get the 30 printed as the output value. Now, in case you want to give a very good statement saying sum of two numbers is, and then you want to give a plus, this is how the full statement will be printed. Now, there is no space between this. Remember, anything within the double quote is printed as it is. So you can give a space here, and as you give a space here and now run this program, you will see that it prints this line. Now I repeat 2 times, this plus symbol has nothing to do with this plus. It's not adding. This plus here is a concatenation symbol. Concatenation means that it will help you add the numbers. So it is, all it is doing is it is adding this particular text to this particular text. That's it. So it's a concatenation, it is joining. Similarly, if I wanted to calculate the difference of the numbers in this calculator, I will take int difference and I will say number 1 minus number 2, and then a semicolon is very important. I recommend you to make these programs with me in the class so that you are able to understand this concept. So I will now say difference of two numbers is, followed by a plus symbol which has the difference written. I would then next do int, which is multiply, and I will now multiply both the numbers using the multiplication symbol. And simple, all I need to do after this is I will just write down here product of the numbers is. So let's write down product of two numbers is, and all I will do over here at the plus symbol, I will write down multiply. The next thing that I'm going to do is int divide, and here I will write down number 1 divided by number 2, put a semicolon over here and click enter. Okay, disturbing us in between programming. So now what I'm going to do is divide, or the better result will be division. I hope you're writing this program with me. Division of the two numbers is, and then you will use plus division. Now why am I'm trying to show you this? Because I wanted to prove it to you. I wanted to show it to you that this plus is just used for concatenation. That's it. This plus is just used to club this statement with this statement. It is just used to club this statement with this statement. That's it. No other difference. So now let us run this program, and can you see the difference and the product? 10 times 20, 200. 10 divided by 20, 0. 10 minus 20 is minus 10, and sum of the two numbers is 30. So see, did you see how quickly we were able to write a calculator in Java? Great. So now what we are going to do next, let's copy this program and let's put it in our guide document. And soon after this, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you one more program. So guys, without any delay, let us write down our next program. And in the next program, I'm just going to delete this now. I hope all of you have completed this program. In the next program, what I'm going to guide you is, how can you, let us put this also in our guide document. So I'm going to tell you how you can, in Java, create an age calculator. So let us see how we can do that. Let's say the program is, I wanted the user to enter the year the user was born in and calculate the age of the user in 2020. So how I can do that? Let's say I take a variable name which is born year. It's always nice to give variable names like this because it really helps you. Just any random year I have written down here. And then I want to calculate the age of the person in 2025. Right? So 2025 minus this born year will give me the age of the user in 2025. In fact, you can make it much more proper by doing age in 2025. And then what I'm going to do is system.out.println, and you will say the age of the user will be, and look at my plus that I'm going to use to concatenate. Plus, I will use the variable name, and because I'm using this variable name, do I need to put it in double quotes? Answer is no. Because if I put it in double quotes, it will be treating it as a string. So not in double quotes. And years old. So let us run this program now to see how it works. As I run this program, can you see that it says the age of the user will be, so the user who was born in 1981, his age in 2025 is going to be 44 years old. And how can you find out that? By doing this program like this. Now the only thing that I don't like in the output is the 44 word and the years are clubbed together. Very simple, just put a space before the years. Anything within the double quotes is printed as it is, and you get this printed like this. I hope that was clear. Time for my students to get some exercises, and soon after these exercises, we will jump on to the next program. So let's quickly note down the exercise. Please write it down with me. This exercise that I'm giving you is based on variable, constant, data types and keywords. So WAP, what is the full form of WAP? Write a program to convert Indian rupee. Let me see how many of you can do this. I will discuss this in the next tutorial. Write a program to convert Indian rupee to pounds. This is your first exercise which you should complete before watching the next tutorial. The second exercise, please write down. Write a program to take the variable salary and add some bonus. For an employee who is working good in an organization might get a bonus. So this employee also has some salary. You can take any figure, any amount, but I would prefer if you can take it in float, which is a decimal data type. Add some bonus. You can add this also to the bonus, to the salary, and then whatever calculated salary or updated salary is there, print it on the output window. Okay, so this is what is our homework. Please try to do this, and please don't go away. Log in soon after these exercises to the next tutorial. I'll be waiting for you. Goodbye till then. Take care. Hello and welcome back to this tutorial, guys. Just before we start with this tutorial, there were two assignments which were given to you. I'm going to solve them in fraction of minutes because now I know most of you have already completed those. The first exercise was to convert the Indian rupee into pounds. So let us go about it. Let's take a floating number because money can be decimals. And let's say I wanted to convert the Indian rupee which is 568.5 rupees. Now if it is a float, remember you should put a F. Small f or capital F is your choice. I then want to calculate the Indian rupee into pounds. So I hope most of you were able to go to internet, search what is the current rate. So I'm going to say rupee to pounds. So 1 rupee as of today is 0.011. So 0.011. This is the rate, which is again in a float value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down float conversion rate, isn't it? This is my conversion rate. I have written down this conversion rate also. And now how do I generate, or how do I get the the pounds, right? So I'm just going to do float pounds is equal to Indian rupee. So let's take Indian rupee, and all you need to do is multiply is this one with the conversion rate. That's all you have to do. And all you need to do here is system.out.println the converted amount is, and just write down plus after this, and let's just write down pounds. And that's all you have to do in this exercise. Let's run it. It is 6 pounds. 568 INR rupees is 6 pounds. So this way you can do any currency converter. How about pound to dollars? How about dollars to dinar? So please try this program. Now this program, we can put it in our reference document, and before we put it in our reference document, I'm going to go to the next question. The next question was quite straightforward. What was the last question that you have done? Everybody has practiced that. It was quite straightforward, right? All you have to take was, in floating numbers, you had to take a particular value, do some operations on that particular value and print it. So second exercise, I hope you have done it. If you have any doubts, please watch the tutorial, and I am very sure you'll be able to do that. Now the next topic for this exercise, this video tutorial, is something which is called as user interactive programming. Now I'm not sure how many of you have heard about this user interactive programming, but you have done this, used many applications in your life, right? I'm going to give you some examples, and this will give you a hint. Have you ever gone to the ATM and withdrawn the money? If yes, you have done user interactive programming. Have you ever gone to a hospital and filled a form? If yes, you have done user interactive programming. Have you ever gone to a school or a college or a university and filled a form? If yes, you were being part of that user interactiveness. But what is user interactiveness? A system in which the end user communicates or speaks to the system is a user interactive programming. As a user, I go to the ATM machine, withdraw the money, take the cash. When I do that, there are some steps in which the ATM machine is going to ask me to enter my ATM card. It is also then going to ask the PIN to be entered. It is also then going to ask me the amount, and then it checks for the sufficient balance. If it is there, it will debit the account and give me the money. The machine was talking to me. It was doing an interaction with me. User interactive programming. So guys, without any delay, let us try to understand how the user interactive programming works in Java. Let's get tuned. Java is about classes, in which you make your own classes, plus in addition to that you can use other classes as well. So in this case, the class that you will be using in order to do the user interactive programming is called as a scanner class. You will first of all make a variable of this scanner class by doing scanner keyboard is equal to new scanner, and all you will do after this is system.in, and please put these square brackets after this. As I write this program, most of you will see that I am getting an error, isn't it? Now why am I getting this error which I have written? I'm getting this error because you can see this scanner is not imported. In Java, the rule of thumb is if you want to use an inbuilt class, you should always import it. So see, when I hover my mouse over this, there is a suggestion. It says import scanner. So I will click on this and you can see that this line will get added. For all of my students who missed it, I will do it one more time. Click on this, click on import scanner, and you can see that the scanner has got imported. What is my next step after this? My next step after this is very quickly what we are going to do over here is we want to, let's say, take the name of the user and say hi to the user or welcome to the ATM to the user. So we'll say string name, and then whatever you want to print on the console window, you will put it in the system.out.println and you will say please enter your name. Once this is done, the next step is straightforward. You will take the input from the user. So you will do name is equal to, what is the variable that we are using? Keyboard. Keyboard.next. And I would recommend you to read these different functions which have come over here. There is a function called next. There is a function called next line. There is a function called next big integer, next boolean, which we will cover eventually. But as of now, remember the function that we are going to use is next line. Now there are different functions. If you are using an integer value, please remember to use next int, which I can show you straight away so that there is no confusions. Next int. If you are taking a float value, the function that you are going to use is next float. If you are using a double value, it will be next double. I hope that's making sense, guys. So here what you will do, because you're taking a string value, there is nothing called next string if you're getting confused. In Java, the inbuilt method is next line. And then all you are going to do after this is, you will give a final print statement saying, welcome to ICICI Bank ATM. And then once whatever name that you have taken from the user, you will join that using our old plus operator and you will write down here name. So as I run this program, you can see that it says please enter your name. And whatever name I am going to enter now, so I write down a name, let's say Priyanka. So when I press enter, you can say welcome to ICICI Bank ATM Priyanka. You can give a very nice spacing, commas over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's playing tricks here. So I'm going to take this off. A bit of fun in coding is this is called. So what I'm going to do now is welcome to the ICICI Bank ATM, and then whatever name that you are going to give over here, it's going to pick that and take it. Was it easy? This is user interactive programming. Now I'll show you the other functions as well. Now let's say I wanted to take the age of the user. So I'm going to take int age, and then I will take another string value where I will take the age of the user. So I will say please enter your age, and all I'm going to do after this is I'm going to store whatever the user is giving me inside this using keyboard.nextInt. A semicolon is very important, and all you can print over here is you are, and then you can do a plus here, age plus years old. So similarly, based on float or any value, you can give that value, enter your name, and I'm going to write down here Mohita, enter your age, I'm going to say 67, you are 67 years old. I hope that was clear and easy. So just before we do this, let's give you a quick exercise, and in that exercise this time you will take the input from the user, the INR, the Indian rupee exercise that we have done. You will take the input from the user and you will convert it into pounds. But what value you're going to take? You're going to take the value which user gives you. Okay, I hope that is clear, everybody. Okay, fantastic. So that will be your exercise. Please finish that and we'll catch up soon. Thank you and goodbye. Hello and very good evening and good afternoon or morning in whatever time zone you are taking these sessions. A very good day everyone. Welcome to the next audio series tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to do a quick recap of the user interactive programming. In the previous tutorial we covered the user interactive programming and there was an assignment which was given. I had promised you that you need to just solve them, and that I'll explain in this exercise how that assignment can be done. So let us get started everybody, and we are going to, in this tutorial, continue on the user interactive programming, how the user interactive programming can be done, and write some exercises. I'll give you at the end of this video tutorial 5 exercises to solve, and I think that will give you a very good understanding on how the user interactive programming works in Java. A quick recap of what we have done. Please remember, whenever you are doing the user interactive programming using Java, kindly use the name of the class is scanner. Please use the class scanner. This scanner class is present in the package util. So that is how you will do. You will say import java.util.scanner. One thing I want to tell all of you dear students, in case you want to import everything from a specific package, all the classes from a specific package, you can use .star. Using this star icon gives you the entire access to all the classes. So you can use that. The another thing that I wanted to tell you over here was, whenever you are using this scanner class, you need to create a variable, you need to create an object of this scanner. That is what we do, scanner, keyword or keyboard, you can use anything using new scanner. In this bracket, you will be writing system.in, and if you're thinking, why do I need to do all this? This is part of the syntax. This is how the syntax works, and this is how you should be writing in order to solve the problem statements like these. We also discussed that there are different functions. For example, there is a function called as nextInt which works for integers. There is a function called nextFloat which works for floating number. Similarly, there is one more function which is nextDouble, and you can see all these functions. Today I'll show you all these functions practically. And then we have another functions like nextLine, next. These are some other functions which works with the scanner. In the previous exercise, my dear students, if you remember, I gave you an exercise in which I requested all of you to create a currency converter which will convert from one currency to another. So that is going to be our target today. We will be writing a currency converter program. So let's not wait and let's get started. So I hope everybody knows the steps that you have to follow. Let us now very quickly try to create a Java file. The editor that we are using is Eclipse. So on the src, you will right click, you will create a new class file which is a Java file, and here you will give the name of the file. I can give it currency converter, and as I create this currency converter, please click on this option public static void main. Checking this option, my dear students, will help you not to type. You don't have to type in that case. You can directly use it. So what are we waiting for? I'm going to quickly solve this problem and show it to you. All those who had errors, all those who are not able to solve this, please refer to my exercise. So the first step that we have to do is we have to import java.util.scanner, and that is a mandatory step. I just wanted to show you one thing additional here. The moment you do java dot, right? The moment you do java dot, you will see the list of all the packages. Can you see list of all the packages? Yes. So from here you need the package called util. So util is what you will select. And within the util also, if you want to see, just press Ctrl and space key together, and these are the different classes which you have. Now what I was explaining you practically was that if you do dot star, all the classes will come, because you don't want all the classes, you want only one specific class. So in this case you can use scanner. Okay, as soon as you write this, do you see a yellow mark line? This yellow mark line you will see in Java many times, but as a programmer you don't have to worry much on this yellow line. This yellow line is depicting that this is a file declaration done, but you're not using it. So hover your mouse over it. Please get into a habit, whenever you are getting an error, you should go and check what is the error. So hover your mouse and it says import java.util.scanner is never used. So if you remove this, it says that, if you read this error very carefully, it is telling you that the scanner class is made, but you're not using it, because it doesn't know that we will be using it very soon. So I will create a scanner keyboard is equal to new scanner, and inside this I will write down system.in. This is part of the syntax, everyone. Please remember, you should be writing it like this. Close the bracket. These brackets are not needed, just close that bracket, and that's it. Now what you had to do, you had to take the amount of rupees you wanted to convert. Let's say you want to convert pounds to rupees. So you have to take input from the user, which is pounds, which is of the floating type, isn't it? And here in the system.out.println you will write down, please enter, let's write down, please enter the amount in pounds. We will ask the user to enter the amount in pounds, and all I will do over here is, once I have written this down, I will receive this input from the user and I will say pounds is equal to keyboard dot next. Now these are the different functions. Remember I was explaining you next, byte, long, float, double. These are the different functions. So because you have taken the pounds as float, here you will take the amount as next float. Once you have taken this next float, now what is the rate? What is the conversion rate of pound to rupees? Let us see. It is normally 100 or less than that, but let's see what is pound to rupee today. So if I go to pound to rupee conversion, I don't even have to click on it. You can see it is telling me 96.42 is the rate today. So that is the rate I am going to use here now. So what I will do is, I will take another variable. I'll write down float conversion rate. Float conversion rate. I hope all of you are understanding this and you are able to pick it up. Float conversion rate is actually how much value that we saw, 96.2 F. In Java, if you are using a float, you should put F here. It could be lowercase f or it could be uppercase f. Now the other thing you need is rupees, isn't it? So I'm going to take, because it's money, money can have decimals, right? So that is the reason I'm using float. So I will say float rupees is equal to, I will multiply the conversion rate that I have, and this conversion rate will further get multiplied with the, can anybody tell me what will it be? Very good, the pounds. So you will multiply it with pounds. And all you need to do over here is, you will say system.out.println converted amount is, and here all you will do is comma, and here you will put rupees. You can put plus in Java to concatenate, so rupees, and that's all. Now this word and this word should always be same. Always remember, you cannot have a different keyboard variable here. Now let us run this program to see what it is doing. I will bring my console down so that it's easier for you guys to read the program as well as read this. So see, it's asking me please enter the amount in pounds. So I'm going to enter the amount in pounds. Let's say it is 78.9 pounds I want to convert. As I press enter, can you see it tells me that the converted amount is 7590. You can make it much more readable, everyone. You can put a rupee symbol here, or you can say RS here. Right? Now I'll run this again and show it to you. Try to make your program very, very user effective. 78.9 I have written, press enter. You can say that it has converted the amount. So this is how you had to do this exercise, everybody. I hope you remember this. This exercise, I'm going to save it in our Word copy, the notes document, so that you can refer it from there. You can copy and paste it, but please make sure if you're copying and pasting it, you are running it again also. I hope that is clear, everyone. There is no question. Okay. Now, many of you might go to gym, right, where there will be the BMI calculators, right? So I'm going to build a project now, and let us talk about what that project is about. The project is about creating a BMI calculator, and not only that, this BMI calculator will tell you whether you are of a normal range, whether you are in an obese category, right, whether you need to really reduce a lot, you are underweight, okay, or you are overweight. So this is the project that we are going to work on now, creating a BMI calculator. Many a times when you go to gym, when you go to, or you check on the internet, the BMI calculator asks you for some things. What are the things that BMI calculator asks you? It checks you for your weight, it checks you for your height, and then it calculates the BMI, and then it tells you whether you are normal, obese and underweight. So this is a project in itself, guys. If you can, if you go to a gym and you know there is a machine which is actually telling you the BMI calculator, the code that I'm going to explain you now is exactly the same code which goes behind these BMI calculators. So let's get started how we can work on the BMI calculators. So as I told you, this is again going to be user interactive programming. So I imported the scanner, and the next step is, like in the last exercise we did, here I am going to, first of all, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to take the weight and the height. Now please remember, the weight and the height of the person can be in floating number, isn't it? So what I will do is, I will take float weight. And in Java, another thing I wanted to tell you, because this is something which you're going to use in Selenium as well, you can use multiple variables. So I gave float weight and float height. Clear, everybody? And then what I'm going to do over here is, I'm going to take the input from the user. So I will take the weight, by giving a proper message, please enter your weight. We need to go to a level where we are able to write at least 40 lines of code ourselves. So as I'm writing this, please, I request all my delegates to write this code with me. If any time you are feeling that the speed is very fast, you need to stop the video, keep pausing it and keep writing it, but please create these programs with me. I will then take the height from the user, and once the weight and height is taken, I told you we can calculate the BMI. Now see, in order to do good programming, you should always run your code in parts. If you have written this code till here, just check what it is doing as of now. So it's asking me for my weight, so I'll say 56.7. It asks me for my height, 1.7. Press enter. Till now it works fine, isn't it? So that's what we had to do. You can also make your program very user effective by specifying the user what kind of unit you are looking for. So let's say you are telling the user that you need to tell me your weight in kilograms. This is how you can specify it. Or maybe the height in meters is required. So all these things you can specify to make it more user friendly. Now the next thing that we are going to do is, we are going to calculate the BMI. So BMI is the next variable that I need, isn't it? So I will use BMI here, and what I'm going to do here is, I will calculate the BMI. So in order to calculate the BMI, I will do BMI is equal to weight divided by height times height. I want everybody to note this down. This is how you calculate the BMI. So even the machine in the gym that you are using, right? They are using the same formula. That's the formula. And after that, let us print and tell the user that your BMI is, remember this plus is very important. I hope please you don't forget, plus is concatenation, joining and print it. Now just let's run this program and see what it is doing. Enter your weight, I will say 60, enter your height in meters 1.5, and it is telling me that this is my BMI 26.666. Clear everybody? Now we have to tell the user whether the user is obese, underweight, or what is the weight of the user, right? Or what kind of a person that it is. So what I want now is to set up a table for you in front of you, which we will be using. And that table is that if our BMI is less than 30, if the BMI come less than 30, we want to tell the user that you are underweight. Okay. But let's say the BMI of that person is greater than 30, greater than equal to 30, less than equal to, let's say, 50. In that case, we will say that the person is normal. If the BMI is greater than equal to 50, BMI is less than equal to 70, we can say that that person is overweight. Or you can take this as 80. I'm just defining some parameters. And if the BMI is greater than equal to 80, less than equal to 100, we will say that particular person is obese. Now these are your operators, right? These are some ranges that you have defined. So I'm going to map those ranges here, keeping this in mind. Please have a look at it. So what I'm going to say here is, I will check, right? Or I mean, you could do this using the if else, which we will be covering very soon. So you can check over here is that if the BMI is less than 30, then the person's is underweight. We will cover the if else constraints in much detail later. I will explain it in the next tutorial, but just to solve this problem, this is how you will define the range. BMI is greater than equal to 30. Then you can use another keyword called as AND, or I'll just make it simple for you. You can use else if here, and you can use this AND operator. BMI is greater than equal to 30 and BMI is less than equal to 50. This is the condition I'm giving. Please don't worry on the if else. I will explain it to you in the next tutorial. Here you will say that the person is overweight. You can have another else if condition where you will say that if the BMI is greater than equal to 70 and so it was greater than 50. In this case it was overweight, then underweight, then normal, and then you can put over here overweight, obese. Now these if conditions I'm going to definitely explain you, but this is something which we wanted to do, isn't it? So now let us run this program. Enter the weight. Let's say the person is 100 kilos. The height of that person is 1.4. Obviously that person is overweight, isn't it? So this is what it will print, overweight. Now this entire exercise I am going to put it in our notes document, but I hope you've understood how the user interactive programming works very well, isn't it? So the couple of exercises which you can try on these same lines are, you can write a program to take the input as birth year from the user This is very straightforward exercise, doesn't need any explanation. Birth year and calculate the age of the person in the year 2025. So let's say somebody was born in 1981. You need to tell what that age of the person will be in 2025. So this is your first exercise. Second exercise, guys, which you can try is write a program to take the age of the user, and the condition over here is, remember that whichever age you have calculated, you will try to ask the next question, and that is which year the user was born. Okay, which year the user was born, what is the current age. Okay, and then you will calculate which year the user will be 100 years old. So these are the two exercises. For this first exercise, just take the birth year from the user, calculate the age of the person by subtracting the 2025 minus the birth year. In the second exercise, you need to take couple of inputs like age, when he was born, and what year will be that. What year will be that? Will it be 2029 or whatever year it will be in which the user will turn 100 years old. So these are our exercises. These exercises questions, guys, are also present in the notes document. Please solve these exercises and we will soon meet for the next tutorial. Our next tutorial will be on the operators. Stay tuned and keep practicing Java. Take care and goodbye everyone. Hello my dear students, and welcome to the next audio and video series on Java. I hope you are all practicing Java and you're actually getting comfortable with this language. So we are going to start today with the next topic, everyone, and the name of that topic is operators. We are going to understand first of all what is the practical significance of operators, and then once we have done that, we are going to do a lot of exercises, because programming comes with exercises. Programming will come with hands-on. You can never master a programming language with just learning theory. So my sincere request for all of you, whatever programs we are doing in this tutorials, please keep practicing them with me. Now operators, what's an operator? Something which helps you to do some operation. So something, or it's a concept which helps us to do operations. I hope that's making sense. Now in any programming language, let's say if I have written a statement like this, I say 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. There are some terminology, students, which you have to remember. The first terminology you have to remember is that this 2 and 3 over here is called as an operand. What is this called? Operand. This plus over here is called as an operator. This plus is an operator. The next thing that we have to remember over here is that this 5, which is the output that you are getting, the terminology of this 5 is that it is called as a result. And this full thing, which is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, is called as an expression. That's the full thing. It's a full thing, which is an expression. So from left to right, everything is an expression. So I hope that's clear. I'll go to the next bit in which we are going to talk about these operators which have got different categories. And then one by one, I can promise you that we will be practicing these operators. So let us try to write down the different types of operators that we have. If you have any questions, please stop the video, go back, listen to that part of the video again. If it's making sense, nothing like that. Clear, everybody? So types of operators. The first type of operator, the first category of operators is the arithmetic operators. Now what are all different arithmetic operators? the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. These are all arithmetic operators which helps you to perform mathematical calculations. Now, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all of you know. I'm very sure, isn't it? This operator is little new for most of us. This is called modulus operator. Now, how does this work? Whenever you are dividing two numbers, for example, if you do 6 divided by 2, answer will always be 3, isn't it? But when you do 6 modulus 2, this is not percentage. I repeat, this is not percentage. In programming languages, this is a different operator. It's called modulus. So 6 modulus 2, the answer is going to give you 0, because this gives you something which is called as quotient, and this gives you something which is called as the remainder. I show it to you practically so that it is deep in your minds and you don't forget it. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go back to my previous code. Just to save time, I'm going to do Control Z. Anytime you want to undo your code, just do Control Z, remember. In the same area, I don't want to create another file, just want to save time here. So let's get the extra bits off and let's have the simple class. So what I was explaining here, my friends, I was saying that if you are taking int number 1 as 10, as 2, and you take another variable as divide, and you say number 1 divided by number 2, and you print the value of divide and run it, the output of this program is going to give you 5. That's what I was explaining. But in case I calculate the modulus, so I'm going to give you modulus answer, that is my variable. Look at the variable names I'm using. I have seen many people using variable names like A, B, C's. We are not going to use that at all. At A2IT, we focus on making sure that the coding is learned from industry specific point of view. And in the industry, we don't do ABCs, isn't it? So please give proper variable names. I know I have made one mistake. I'm going to just correct it quickly. Here we are calculating the modulus. So use this operator. And now let's run this output. Did you see that? 10 divided by 2 is 5, but 10 modulus 2 is 0. That's how you will use it. Okay, listen to these instructions very carefully, because I can promise you that there will be exercises on this. Okay, so that was the first category: arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. The next category is the relational operators. And why are they called relational operators? Because they help you establish a relationship between one or more variables or values. So how relational operators work is, there are different operators like less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, double equal to, then you have not equal to. These are the different relational operators. This checks if one value is less or not. This checks if value is more or not. This checks if the value is less equal or not. This will check if the value is greater than, equal or not. This will check whether two values on the left and the right hand side are equal or not. So this will check whether left hand side and the right hand side value is equal or not. On the other hand, this will check if the values are not equal. That's it. If you can remember this, it's simple. Now let's do it practically. Let's erase this bit, go back to our Eclipse editor, and I'm going to show it to you each and everything practically. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check number 1 less than number 2. Can you all start thinking what will be the output of this programs? What will it actually print? Can you give it a guess? This time I'll take greater than, equal to. I'm going to take the next operator, double equal to. Not equal to number 2. And now I'm going to run this program to see what's the output. So can you see that it's giving me Boolean values? Now why Boolean values? Because relational operators always gives you Boolean values. That's the reason. So let's see. Is 10 less than 2? No. The answer is false. Is 10 greater than 2? Yes, answer is true. Are these two numbers equal? No, false. Are these numbers not equal? Yes, false. I hope that answers. Yes? Fantastic. Now let's go back to our notepad and let's take the next category of the operators. The next category of the operators is logical operators. There are 3 logical operators and they are logical and, that is how you make it. If you have listened to my last tutorial very carefully, we actually ended up using these because we were doing our BMI calculator. So we have not understood, but we used it. But I hope it will make sense now. So logical and, logical or, and then you have a logical not operator. These are your 3 main operators, friends. Now how does this work? If a particular condition on the left hand side and on the right hand side are correct, that means true and true, this logical and will return you true. So how does the truth table works for the logical and? Let's talk about it. So for the and, if it is true and true, it will be true. If it will be true and false, it will be false. If it's going to be false and true, it will be again false, and false will be false. So it's like there are 2 friends, they want to go on a move for a movie, and this person will go on a movie only if both of them are going. So if the first friend goes for a movie, second friend goes for a movie, and both of them are going, this guy will go for a movie. Right? One friend goes and the other is not going, this guy will not go for a movie because there's an and condition, both should go. This friend doesn't go for a movie and this goes for a movie, obviously he will not go. This friend doesn't go for a movie, this friend doesn't go for a movie, then this guy will also not go for a movie. So for and, what I'm trying to explain is that the left hand side and the right hand side both should be true to get the answer as true. The next one is the logical or. The logical or is little different, you know how it works. One friend goes for a movie, the other is not going. A friend goes or B friends go, I will go for a movie. The first friend doesn't go, but the second one is going, I'll go for a movie. Both the friends are not going on a movie, no movie. Either of them are going or both of them are also going, still true. So remember, if you can remember this with an example, you have understood the logical or and an and operator. And just on very quicker note, logical not, it's just the opposite, it just inverses the result. So that means if it is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make it true. Time to look at these things practically. So let's go back to our window of Eclipse. So these are the 2 numbers, guys, right? So now let's see how these operators will work. Notice my brackets very carefully. Now remember, this is and. So this and is used like this, but it is called as and. Okay. So I'm going to just copy this line. Oh, it's really funny. It's not getting copied. It needs us to do hard work. No copy pasting. Number 1 equal to 10. Now here I'll make one condition as false. Where is the OR key? Please remember, you will use the OR key right on the right hand side of the plus symbol in your keyboard. Okay, now let's run this program. True and true is the answer. Why? Let's talk about it. Is the value of number 1 10? Yes. Number 2 is also 2? Yes. True, true, and answer will be true. This is true, this is false, but nothing to worry, there is or. If one friend goes for a movie, the other friend doesn't go for a movie, I'll still go for a movie. So answer is again true, right? So this is how these logical and or are used. Now coming to the, I was explaining you, right, the concept of not operator. So what you can do, if you put a not here and now run this program, answer has changed. Why? Let's talk about it. This one is giving you true. Not of true is going to give you false. This is also false. This is also false. Both of them are false and you have an or operator. The answer is false. I hope that made sense, everybody. Fantastic. One last operator that we are going to cover in this tutorial series is the assignment operator. What is the assignment operator? The is equal to operator. So assignment operator is the operator which helps you to do the assignment. So when I say number 1 is equal to 3, it's going to assign the 3 value to the number 1. That is what is the assignment operator. The word is assignment operator. Okay. So I hope these operators were clear. Stay tuned for the next video, because in the next video we are going to practice all of them. But as of now, let's quickly summarize. Time for conclusion. Operators helps you to do different operations. There are different terminologies like operand. There is a terminology called as result, operator, expression, and we have also discussed that there are 4 main types of operators that we have. The first is the arithmetic, the second is the logical, third category we covered is the relational, and the fourth we covered is the assignment. So on broader scale, these are the most widely used operators, and that is what we have covered. Stay tuned for the next video tutorial, because in the next tutorial we are going to practice all of them by making some mini projects. Keep learning Java. Take care and goodbye. Hello and very warm welcome everybody to the next audio and video tutorial on Java. In the previous tutorial we have discussed on operators and the different types of operators. We now know that there are arithmetic, relational, logical and assignment operators which helps you to perform the operations. Now let us get started with doing some exercises on these operators. Let us solve our first exercise, and this exercise will be solved in Eclipse. This is a quick MCQ round of questions which we will be working together. So let's get started. The first exercise is on the operations which helps us to do the arithmetic operations, and for that we are going to make a small mini calculator in Java. In order to make a mini calculator using the arithmetic operators, we are going to do one thing very quickly. I just want to make sure that our notes have reached the right place. I'm just placing the previous notes, and let us go on to now making the modifications. So here number 1 is 10, number 2 is 2. I am going to quickly write down an exercise, as I told you, to use the arithmetic operators. I am using my plus operator like this, and I am then printing the sum of the numbers. I'll use a plus operators to calculate the sum. In the next example, I am going to calculate the difference of the numbers to show you how the difference operator works. In the next series, I am going to calculate the multiplication result. Number 1 multiply with number 2. And I'm going to quickly take the next operator, which is division. Division of the numbers. I'm typing literally fast because I want to cover as many operators, everybody. And we have then the modulus of the numbers, which you can calculate. Now just only thing you have to remember is you have to use the operators like this. And one thing I request all of you to do is, I am doing this exercise using the integer. I request all of you to do the same thing using float. Use floating numbers, use decimal numbers and see what is the output. Okay, this variable should be exactly same as this. And now let us run this program. You can see that I've got the output printed, sum of 10 and 2, difference, then we have the multiplication, division, and then we have got the modulus. So I hope this is making sense. Time for us to put this in our notes document. You can always refer this notes document parallelly, students. And next I'm going to show you the concept of relational operators. In the relational operators, what I'm going to do is, I will do is just use one relational operator in which I'm going to write down number 1 greater than number 2. Can anybody guess what is the output of this program? What output will this print? Very good. Number 1 is 10, this is 2. 10 divided by 2 is right, so this will print true. So this is how one relational operator can be used. Then you can have less than equal to, you can have greater than equal to, you can have another relational operator which is double equal to, and you can have another relational operator which is not equal to. So these are the different operators that we have. As I run this program, dear students, you can see that it is printing true. The next situation is where you can use the logical operators. So I can check if the value of my number 1 is 10, right? And you will use an and over here, and the value of number 2 is 2. In that case, whatever resultant value is there, it will print it for me. So what is the output of this program? It is going to print true for me. Number 1 is 10, number 2 is 2. Is number 1 equal to 10 and number 2 equal to 2? Answer is yes. So when I now run this program, the output of this is true. Within these operators, you are also using assignment operators. As I told you, the right hand side gets assigned to left hand side. How does the right hand side gets assigned to the left hand side? It is assigned using this is equal to operator, which is called as the assignment operator. Alright, dear students, so that's a quick practice. Time for me to give you some exercises. Please solve these exercises. They are very simple exercises, and please solve it before you start the next tutorial. So there are 2 exercises which I will give you. In the exercise 1, you will write a program. WAP, wherever I am writing, it means it's writing a program. Write a Java program So that is our exercise number 1. In exercise number 1, you will take the input from the user. Now, can you tell me what class you are going to take the input from the user? Scanner. So you will use scanner to take 2 inputs from the user. After you have taken the input from the user, check if both the numbers are equal. So a hint I'll give you, because we will not discuss this exercise in the next tutorial, but I'll just quickly explain you how you will do it. You will use scanner, and using scanner take 2 numbers from user. Because you have to take float, do you agree with me? You will take next float. Yes, do that. After you have taken the input, you will use the double equal to operator. This double equal to operator is the relational operator. Take this relational operator to check whether the number on the left hand side and the value on the right hand side are equal or not, and that is relational. Okay, one last exercise that I want to give you is write a program to take the name of a user as the input. Okay, name of the user as the input, and what you need to check is if the name starts with S. This is little challenging, you might need internet help or book help, but try. So if I enter the name as Shubham, this should be correct, isn't it? It should say yes, name starts with Shubham. I say Santosh, yes, the name starts with Santosh. I take the name as Sonia, yes, it is correct. But if I enter the name as Rohan, Rohan doesn't start with S, so it should say sorry, the name doesn't start with S. So I know this is little challenging, but it's time to give you challenging exercises, and I'm sure you can do that. This exercises might take 30 minutes, 40 minutes of your time, but a sincere request, before you even watch the next tutorial, please solve these exercises. Keep enjoying Java. Take care and goodbye. A very warm welcome, and let us continue. I hope guys you have finished your exercises before you start this tutorial. As we start this tutorial, we are going to talk about the decision statements, selection statements, and the different ways we can use the if-else. Even before we do that, let us talk about what exactly is a statement. In any programming language, I can promise you, if you listen to these tutorials carefully, you are not just getting a hold of Java language. You can get a hold of any programming language, because the only thing which is different from one programming language to the other programming language is the syntax. That's it. Rest other of the things are quite straightforward, same. So we'll be talking about what exactly a statement in programming languages. Something which helps you to achieve something is a statement. And then the next question comes is, what are the different categories of these statements? The different categories of these 2 statements are, the first is called as the decision or the selection statement, which is also very commonly called as if-else switch case. Please write it down. The next one is the iteration statements, which is also called as repetition, which is also called as loops, and the common examples of the loops are for, while, do while. So these are the different types of statements we have, and within the statements, as I told you, we have the decision, selection or if-else switch case, and the second category is iteration, repetition, loops, which could be for, which could be while, which would be do while. Our main target in this tutorial series is to understand what is the selection statements and what is the decision statements. So let's get started, everyone. Now, I hope you remember one thing. Whenever in programming language or in our day-to-day life we have to make decisions, we think in terms of if-elses, isn't it? As I look outside the window of this room and I think, I'm thinking that if the weather outside is hot, I'll probably go outside and eat an ice cream. That's a mindset that I have. Ice cream I want to eat. Or if it is very cold, I might drop this plan and have a cup of tea. I might just have a cup of tea. Okay. Otherwise, anything else is happening, I might prefer to stay in my room. There is some decisions which I am taking. If it is hot, I will eat an ice cream. If it is cold, I will have a cup of tea. Otherwise, what I want to do is I want to stay in room. So there are some mindset, some questions which are running through my mind, and I'm having some conditions of if, else, if, again else, again if, some kind of thoughts. So these same thoughts we have in programming languages, and we can do that using the concept of selection statements or decision statements, which helps you to make decisions. What are we waiting for? Let us start writing our first if-else program. So in our very first if-else program, you can see that I have taken number 1, which is 10, number 2 as 2. I will be checking here if number 1 is less than number 2, I wanted to print number 1 is smaller. I will take another else if, and I will check if the number 1 is greater than number 2, it will print number 2 is smaller. Otherwise, I am taking another else condition which will say both are equal. We'll do a lot of projects on this. Just before we do this, let's first try to understand what we are trying to achieve here. The value of number 1 is 10. The value of number 2 is 2. What is the value of number 1? 10. Is 10 less than 2? No. Because this condition is not true, this condition is giving you false, it will not execute this block of code. Remember, it will just not execute this block of code. But if the value of number 1 is 10 and 2, 10 is greater than 2, this is true. So that means this condition is right, and on the output window you will get number 2 is smaller. Are we all ready to try this program? Fantastic. Let us run this program and you can see that it prints number 2 is smaller. Now what I am going to do is I am going to make both the numbers as same. Just before I run this program, I will show you how does this work. This is 10 and this is 10. Is 10 less than 10? No. Is 10 greater than 10? No. So if there is a number which is not less than that number, one number which is not more than the number, what does that mean? That means that their numbers are equal, isn't it? So if the numbers are equal, it will come in the else block and it will print both are equal. Now always remember, students, many a times I have seen that many students end up using the if and multiple ifs. I'll give you one very practical explanation here. We write down an if condition, start the bracket, if condition, start the bracket, then you have if condition, start the bracket, if condition, start. This is not the correct approach. Remember, what happens with this problem, what is the problem of doing this is, let's say if your condition is getting satisfied as this area, right? What it does is it still keeps checking whether this is there, this is there, this is there. It will keep checking, hence reducing the efficiency of the program. You know, even in your house, when you're finding, let's say you're finding an umbrella and you found the umbrella, what do? Do you still keep searching for umbrella? No. If you do that, you're wasting your time, energy and efficiency, isn't it? So as soon as the condition is satisfied, you would just want to come out, right? So this is what the if else if helps you to achieve. So remember, rather than using this ifs, you should be using if else if conditions. Again you will use else if conditions. Can you see that, everyone? Continue to use else if, and then you will have one final else. So this is far more efficient, and please remember, all of my students, I request you to go with this else if approaches. Okay, I hope that's clear. Right, time to give you some questions, and before you take the next tutorial, please make sure you have finished these exercises and then only take the sessions. Let's get started. So the first exercise that I am going to give you, which I'll discuss it in the next exercise, is write a program in Java to take the month number from the user, and find out which month number it is, or which month it is. Okay, so if it is 1, it should print January. If it is 2, it should print February. If it is 3, it should print March. 4 will be April, right? And if the user enters 25, now there is no month called 25, right? So in this case, it should say invalid month number. This is your first exercise. I'll solve and show you, but please make sure you have finished this. The second program which I'm expecting all of you to do is write a program to take a number from the user and find out whether that number is even or odd. Even or odd. That's the next problem statement. So I request you to finish this before we start with our next tutorial. And please stay tuned. Keep learning Java. See you very soon in the next tutorial. Take care. Bye now.